What's up, Quadcopter fans? RunCam. Today I'm going to be taking out my WLToys V303 Seeker. Been a while since I've been able to fly it. Everything's been calibrated. A little bit of uneven ground here today. I do have my RunCam HD on the bottom, so we'll go ahead and fire up the motors. Take off. Hopefully we'll get level holding. It appears that we are. We got a little bit of a drift. So the ground wasn't quite as level as I would have liked it. Taking off. Didn't really have a whole lot of choice in the matter today, so you can see it's fighting a little bit to hold this position here, but it is doing it. It's been a while since I've flown it too, and the wind is blowing pretty hard today, so we'll bring it down just a little bit just to make sure that the wind isn't affecting it too bad. So you can see it's kind of throwing it all over the place here. The motors are trying to compensate for the wind, so we'll go ahead and start flying this thing around, get some action into it, so it's not just continually sitting there trying to fight the wind on its own. But the wind's blowing pretty hard. We're heading into it right now. You can still see it's having a little bit of an issue with the wind here. So we'll fly against it, tail to it, a lot smoother. So we'll just kind of do some circles here. I was really hoping to get a better day as far as the wind goes and the weather. It's nice and sunny and hot, but we got some pretty gusty winds here, so we'll be careful and mindful of it. We won't push the V303 too hard today. So like I mentioned, we do have the RunCam on there. The video might come out to be a little bit yellowed because of the wind and the vibrations of the quadcopter trying to hold its position. So handling well. It looks like the wind dropped down a little bit. We're still tilting a little bit to the right hand side. Could be all wind, could be all wind, could be the unlevel area in which I bound the quadcopter and calibrated the compass. So this thing is very sensitive whenever you're calibrating the compass for taking off. So whenever you're plugging in the battery, taking off, calibrating the compass, you really want level ground. Unfortunately for me, it's not a lot of it. In the areas where I can fly, a little bit of a disadvantage. It's a little bit of a hike to get where I'm flying today, so carrying a table or some sort of board is not going to be an option. So we'll just make do with what we have. I was having some major range issues with the quadcopter before, but since replacing the receiver and transmitter, I'm still waiting on my transmitter to come from GearBest. It's been about 6 months. They sent me a defective one when I bought it. Doesn't look like I'm ever going to get it, but the customer service keeps lying to me and telling me that they're going to send it. So I had to go out there and buy one on the second-hand market. Was able to get a used one. It's a trainer, but it still has all the functionality as the original. And we got back flying, replaced out the receiver inside the V303, and the combination of new transmitter and receiver gave us our range back and a very smooth, stable flying quadcopter. So we'll take it up a little bit, try to get some aerial footage. hopefully our footage won't be too wrecked from the wind and the vibrations today. We'll kind of pan around here. This is a very fun quadcopter for the price, and the price seems to be coming down. Same thing with XK Detect, which is its bigger brother or more option version of the V303. That's in the $200 range almost too as well. So you know, both these are good choices if you can get them to bind from the factory and get them to fly without the range issue. I don't think you can go wrong with the V303. You know, you do have to buy camera and gimbal if you choose to. The RunCam works great. It's a cheap alternative. It's only roughly about $50–$60. They have the new RunCam that just came out too as well. Gimbal, so you can pick those up for about $80 or so. So all total, you'd be into it about $400, $420. You have a good flying quadcopter. Now, the DJIs have come down in price, so just for the standard with the camera, you know, I don't think you could beat the DJI as far as quality goes, because these are kind of a crapshoot whenever you get them, of whether you're going to get a good one or you're going to get a bad one. A lot of people having issues with them. For the safe money, it would probably be best to invest into a DJI. It might seem like a lot of money up front, but by the time you add everything you're going to want onto this quadcopter, you're going to be at about the same price. So I'm not disappointed with my purchase of this. You know, I enjoy it greatly, so nothing to complain about it on my end. But if I had to do it over again, I would go for the DJI. So good flight time out of this, 10 to 15 minutes in most cases. We're not carrying a big payload like a heavy GoPro gimbal, so we should get some decent flight time. So we'll bring it down a little bit. The wind's kicking up. And this V303, it's really good too for you know, a beginner looking to get into a bigger one. If you can get it to fly, the front lights on it, the red lights, the green lights, and the flashing tail light allow you to be able to tell your orientation pretty easy. So if it does get out there and far away from you, you know, as long as you can catch a glimpse of one of those features, you know, there's a good chance that you can get it back. And plus, it does have your return to home. If you do get too far out, as long as that compass is calibrated, you can go ahead and flip that switch. It should return back to you. Land close to where you took off from. I've used it several times before when I was having a transmitter issue. Lost complete control over it when I was trying to solder and fix it and hit that, and I landed right by where I took off within a few feet of it. So impressed with that function of it, but it is extremely important to calibrate every time you fly, even if you're returning back to the same area, because you're not always taking off from the same spot that you took off before. So the wind is picking up again, and we're catching some pretty big gusts here. Probably going on 5–6 minutes of flight time. So we'll start winding the flight down and the video down and coming in for a landing here. Just do a couple more turns out here in the field. But been very impressed with it as of late. The way it's handling, the way the range has been. Hasn't been the greatest day flying my other quadcopters, my minis today. Lots of little bitty issues with them. Batteries, range. Just a lot of little bitty small things. So we got it up fairly decent in the air, maybe 50, 100 feet up. Just getting a little bit of an aerial here, and then we'll bring it down for our landing. So bring it in nice and slow. This is just something I do. I had some cheaper blades on there, some DJIs, and just couldn't withstand the weight of the quadcopter with the gimbal. And those plastic little blades just let this thing drop from the sky, smacking on the ground. Luckily it turned out okay. It wasn't damaged. A little disappointed in those props, which were the DJI knockoffs. They were just nylon plastic and extremely flimsy. So we'll go ahead and bring it in for a landing. We'll try to find the most level spot that we can without any rocks. Hold down on the throttle to disarm the motors. So hopefully we got some good onboard footage with the V303 Seeker. You know, very happy with this once I was able to get it going. If you do have one and you have any issues, it's well worth putting the time and the money into to get it fixed, because you will enjoy the flights. It's small enough that you can kind of take it out. A little bit of setup process to get it flying in regards to calibrating the compass, which some people might not be used to, but very helpful in case you do lose your binding or there is some sort of an issue where you need to return to home and you cannot control the quadcopter. So hopefully this helped you out. Again, this is V303 Seeker by WLToys. And if the video did, leave a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos in the future.